Welcome to SQL. Today in this tutorial we will see how to write and double click on the buttons. So let's begin. Here you can view multiple buttons are available. Double click me. If you clicking on this double button, you have done a double click, text is showing. Uh, if you right click on this button, you have done a right click, text is showing. We can handle this double click and right click buttons in Selenium. So first we will need to go to this URL, driver.get string. Here we enter the URL in which we want to go. After entering the URL, we need a action class for performing these actions, right click and double click buttons. Actions S is equal to new actions and driver. Here we enter the driver. After creating object, we need to locate element, which is double click me buttons. We can locate element by ID, and ID here is available double click me button. We will copy this double click button ID. Web element is equal to button is equal to driver dot find element by dot ID. Here we enter the ID. Now we will perform the double click option. S dot double click dot build dot perform. In this scenario, first it will navigate to this URL and it will click on the double click button. Let's run this script and see what happens. Chrome driver is opening. Navigate to this URL. After clicking on this double click button, we will perform right click button. Here we need to enter the variable name. Let's run this script again and see what happens. Chrome driver is opening. Now it will navigate to this URL and clicking on the double click me button. You have done a double click. After clicking on this button, we will right click on this button. Right click button, this button element ID is available, which is right click. We locate the element by ID and XPath. Now we will locate this element by ID. We need to create an other object. R is equal to new actions and driver. After creating object, we need to locate element by ID. ID is equal to driver dot find element by dot ID. Here we enter the ID, which is right click button. After this, we want to perform right click. So we will use context click. Context click is used for right clicking. Here before we use double click, now we will use a double click. Now we will click on this right click button, r dot context click dot build dot perform. In this scenario, first it will navigate to this URL and double click on the button. After clicking on this button, it will click on the button right click. Let's run this script. Chrome driver is opening. It will navigate to this URL. After navigate to this URL, we'll click on this double click me button. Here we need to enter the ID. Let's run again this script and see what happened. Chrome driver is opening. Navigate to this URL and perform the double click button. Here you can view, we click on this button, double click, and we click on right click me button. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel, like this video and comment.